space around Earth looked like a graveyard of broken ships. Admiral Kim Tae-ho stood on the bridge of the flagship Seoul's Pride, watching the enemy fleet move closer like hungry wolves. The alien ships called Vaxi had been destroying human colonies for 8 months, and now they came for Earth itself. Lieutenant Park So-min looked at her screens with worry in her eyes. Admiral, we have 50 ships left. The Vaxi have 300 moving toward us. Each of their ships is twice the size of our biggest battleship. Admiral Kim Tae-ho felt the weight of every human life on his shoulders. 6 billion people lived on Earth below, and millions more tried to escape in transport ships. The defense fleet was all that stood between humanity and complete destruction. Captain Lee Dong-woo commanded the heavy cruiser Busan Lightning. His ship had holes in the hull from the last battle, but he moved it between the alien fleet and a group of civilian transports. Sir, my shields are at 30%, but we can still fight. The Vaxi ships looked like giant crystals that grew in space instead of being built. They fired beams of pure energy that cut through human armor like it was paper. Their technology was hundreds of years ahead of anything humans had ever made on the bridge of Seoul's Pride. The tactical officer, Lieutenant Commander Yoon Ha-na, watched the enemy formation. Something strange is happening, Admiral. I am getting readings of a massive energy source behind the Vaxi fleet, but I cannot see anything there. The readings showed power levels that should not be possible. The energy signature was bigger than anything human or Vaxi technology could produce. It was like something was hiding in space itself, using technology beyond anything they had ever seen. Admiral Kim Tae-ho looked at the strange readings. His heart was already heavy with the knowledge that Earth would probably fall today, but now something new was happening. What could be powerful enough to hide from both human and Vaxi sensors? The space behind the Vaxi fleet began to shimmer and bend like heat waves rising from hot pavement. Reality itself seemed to twist and change, as if something massive was pushing through from another dimension. The readings grew stronger, but still nothing appeared on visual screens. Captain Lee Dong-woo reported over communications. Admiral, whatever is out there, it is bigger than our entire fleet combined. The energy readings are off all our charts. The Vaxi seemed focused only on destroying the human ships. They moved in perfect formation like they had done this 1,000 times before. Each blast from their crystal weapons destroyed or crippled human vessels. The transport ships fled toward Mars, but the alien fleet was faster. Lieutenant Park So-min tried to contact the strange energy source but got no response. Admiral, I am sending signals on all frequencies, but whatever is out there is not answering. Maybe it cannot hear us, or maybe it does not want to talk. The shimmer in space grew stronger, and the readings showed something truly massive was about to appear. Admiral Kim Tae-ho realized they were witnessing something that could change everything. The question was whether this mysterious presence would help humanity or make things even worse. Master Sergeant Choi Min-ho watched from his defense platform as the human fleet fought desperately. Each minute brought more destroyed ships and more lives lost. The civilian transports were almost in range of the alien weapons, and there was nowhere left to run. The energy readings suddenly spiked to levels that broke the measuring equipment. Something was coming through, and it was bigger than anything humans had ever imagined. The fate of Earth and all humanity might depend on what emerged from that strange distortion in space. The shimmer in space suddenly collapsed like a soap bubble popping, and revealed something that made every human stare in amazement. A ship longer than 10 kilometers stretched across space. Its hull looked alive rather than built with surfaces that moved like breathing skin. Master Sergeant Choi Min-ho felt his hands shake as he watched from the defense platform Incheon Shield. That thing is massive. It makes our biggest ships look like toys. The readings show it has more power than our entire fleet put together. The mysterious ship moved with grace that seemed impossible for something so large. It positioned itself directly between Earth and the advancing Vaxi fleet, like a giant shield protecting a child. The hull pattern shifted and changed as if the ship was thinking about what to do next. Commander Jang Eun-ji tried to contact the newcomer, but all communication channels filled with static that hurt to hear. The unknown ship was sending signals, but they were not in any language humans knew. The patterns suggested intelligence, but the meaning was completely alien. Dr. Xin Wujin worked frantically at his computers trying to understand the strange signals. Admiral, the mathematical constants in their transmission suggest they are intelligent, but this language is unlike anything in our databases. They might be trying to communicate, but we cannot understand them. Without any warning, the Guardian ship opened fire with weapons that seemed to break the laws of physics. Beams of energy that looked solid and liquid at the same time reached across space and touched Vaxi ships. The alien vessels that had been invincible against human weapons simply vanished, like they had never existed. Captain Nam Sujin commanding. The destroyer Daegu Valor watched in shock as entire squadrons of Vaxi ships disappeared. Those weapons are beyond anything we thought possible. They are not just destroying the enemy ships, they are making them cease to exist. The Vaxi fleet that had been advancing with confidence suddenly found themselves being destroyed by technology they could not understand or fight against. Their crystal ships that had shrugged off human weapons cracked and shattered under the Guardians' attack. Panic spread through their formation. Admiral Kim Tae-ho could hardly believe what he was seeing. Our mysterious friend is single-handedly winning a battle we thought was impossible. The Vaxi are retreating, but that ship is following them and destroying every vessel it can reach. The Guardian ship moved faster than anything its size should be able to move. Its weapons reached impossible distances to strike fleeing Vaxi vessels. Some alien ships tried to surrender, but the Guardian showed no mercy. Every Vaxi vessel in the system was systematically hunted down and destroyed. The battle that should have ended with Earth's destruction instead became a complete victory for humanity, but not through human effort. Captain Lee Dong-woo shook his Niger head as he watched the last Vaxi ships vanish. Who are they and why did they save us? In less than an hour, the threat that had taken months to reach Earth was completely eliminated. The Guardian ship stopped firing and took a position in orbit around Earth like a protective parent watching over its children. The hull patterns shifted to what looked like a peaceful configuration. Lieutenant Commander Yoon Hana studied the readings from the Guardian vessel. Admiral, the ship is definitely artificial, but the technology is so advanced it might as well be magic. Our sensors cannot even understand how it moves or how those weapons work. The questions filled everyone's mind. Who were these beings that could destroy an entire alien fleet without effort? Why had they chosen to save humanity? What did they want in return, and what would happen next? The Guardian ship waited silently in orbit, offering no answers. Dr. Xin Wujin continued trying to decode their signals but made little progress. They are definitely trying to communicate, but establishing first contact with beings this advanced might take days or weeks. We are like children trying to understand adult conversation. The human fleet gathered around Earth, still damaged from the battle, but alive thanks to their mysterious savior. Admiral Kim Tae-ho knew that everything had changed. Today humanity learned they were not alone in the universe and that both terrible enemies and powerful friends existed among the stars. 3 days passed with the Guardian ship maintaining orbit around Earth like a silent protector. Admiral Kim Tae-ho prepared the research vessel, Jeju Explorer, for the most important mission in human history. They would attempt to make contact with the beings who had saved their world. Dr. Park Ji-won loaded scientific equipment designed to analyze alien technology, though she doubted human instruments could understand anything about their saviors. We are bringing our most advanced sensors, but I feel like we are cavemen trying to study a computer, Lieutenant. Colonel Oh Sung-min led the security team, knowing their weapons would be useless against beings who could destroy entire fleets. His job was to protect the diplomatic mission, but everyone understood they were completely at the mercy of their hosts. As the Jeju Explorer approached the Guardian ship, a section of its hull simply opened like a flower blooming. There was no visible door or mechanism. The opening appeared in response to their approach, as if the ship was reading their minds and intentions. Captain Lee Dong-woo piloted the small research ship into the alien vessel. The docking bay adjusted itself to fit their ship perfectly, and atmosphere flowed in without any visible life support systems. The technology was so advanced it seemed like pure magic inside the Guardian ship. The corridors shifted and changed to accommodate the human visitors. Walls glowed with soft light that felt warm and welcoming. The gravity, adjusted automatically so the humans could walk comfortably. Everything responded to their needs without being asked. Dr. Kang Yuri took readings with her quantum physics equipment and stared at the results in disbelief. Admiral, these readings suggest the ship exists partially outside normal space and time. The technology is using principles our science has not even theorized about. They walked through passages that seemed alive. The walls pulsed gently like a heartbeat, and sometimes showed images of stars and planets. The ship appeared to be showing them glimpses of the galaxy beyond Earth, hinting at wonders they had never imagined. Finally, they reached a vast chamber where soft light gathered into the shape of a humanoid figure. The being looked similar to humans but clearly came from a different evolutionary path. Its representative spoke directly into their minds without using words or sounds. The mental voice was gentle, but carried the weight of immense age and wisdom. "We are the keepers of the younger races. We have watched your species for many centuries, waiting to see if you would prove worthy of survival and growth." Admiral Kim Taeho felt overwhelming awe at the mental contact. "Your technology is beyond our understanding. Why did you choose to save us from the Vaxi? What do you want from humanity in return?" The keeper's mental voice carried something like amusement. "Your species shows remarkable resilience when faced with extinction. Most races surrender or flee when confronted with superior force, but humans fight with creativity and determination that impresses even ancient observers like ourselves." Dr. Park Ji-won asked about the Vaxi and learned they were only soldiers in a vast empire called the Dominion. The Dominion systematically harvested resources and eliminated potential rivals across hundreds of star systems. Earth had simply been next on their list for destruction. The Keeper explained that galactic civilizations rose and fell in cycles lasting millions of years. Earth sat in a region of space that had seen countless extinctions, and the Dominion was just the latest threat facing younger species throughout the galaxy. Lieutenant Colonel Oh Sung-min wondered why beings so advanced cared about primitive humans like themselves. The Keeper replied that potential was more important than current development. Humanity showed promise that made them worth preserving and protecting. The revelations reshaped everything humans thought they knew about the universe. They were not alone among the stars, but neither were they safe. The galaxy was full of ancient powers and terrible dangers that could destroy entire worlds without effort. Dr. Shin Woo-jin finally asked the most important question. What happens to humanity now that we know the truth about the galaxy? The Keeper's answer would determine whether Earth remained hidden and safe, or joined the broader struggle among the stars. The mental voice grew serious. Your species now faces a choice that will determine its future. You can accept our protection and remain safely isolated on Earth, or you can join the fight to protect other species facing extinction. The decision will affect not just humans, but countless other races. The Keeper's mental voice filled their minds with images of the galaxy showing civilizations that stretched across hundreds of star systems. Some were ancient beyond imagination, while others were young species just discovering fire. The Dominion moved through space like a disease consuming everything in its path. Colonel Bae Hyun-soo served as military liaison and learned that humanity's survival instincts had caught the Keeper's attention centuries ago. Unlike most species, humans showed remarkable resilience when facing extinction, fighting with creativity that impressed even ancient observers. The Keeper revealed that they maintained a hidden network of guardian ships throughout the galaxy. Each vessel protected clusters of younger civilizations, though intervention only occurred when a species demonstrated both the will to survive and potential for growth. Dr. Song Mi-jin, humanity's lead scientist, discovered that the Dominion operated according to ancient protocols, systematically testing younger races through proxy conflicts. Species that failed these tests faced complete annihilation, while those that succeeded earned the right to join galactic civilization. However, the system had become corrupted over millions of years. The Dominion now sought conquest rather than genuine evaluation. They destroyed promising species and enslaved others for resources. The original purpose of testing worthiness had been twisted into simple predation. The Keepers worked to protect species caught in this cosmic trial, though their resources were limited and their methods had to remain subtle. Direct intervention against the Dominion would start a galactic war that could destroy countless innocent civilizations. Admiral Kim Tae-ho learned that Earth's location in space was particularly dangerous. The region had seen dozens of extinction events over the past million years. Most species that developed here were destroyed before they could reach the stars. Humanity was one of the few survivors. The Keeper showed them images of other species currently facing similar threats. A race of peaceful ocean dwellers called the Thylon faced harvesting fleets that would drain their world's oceans. A civilization of insect-like builders watched their hive cities being systematically destroyed. Lieutenant Commander Yoon Ha-na asked why the Keepers did not simply destroy the Dominion if their technology was so superior. The answer revealed the complexity of galactic politics and the delicate balance required to maintain civilization across the stars. The Dominion controlled thousands of worlds and trillions of beings. Most were slaves or subjects, rather than willing participants, but destroying the empire would cause chaos that could last millennia. The Keepers preferred gradual change that preserved innocent lives. Dr. Park Ji-won wondered how many species like humanity existed across the galaxy. The Keepers' answer was both hopeful and terrifying. Thousands of young civilizations developed every century, but most were destroyed before they could mature. Only a few survived to join the galactic community. The choice facing humanity became clear. They could remain on Earth under Keeper protection, living safely, but never growing beyond their current limitations. Or they could join the fight to protect other species, accepting terrible risks, but gaining the chance to become something greater. Colonel Bae Hyun-soo understood the military implications of the choice. Earth's forces were tiny compared to galactic powers, but human adaptability and determination might prove valuable in ways that raw firepower could not. The Keeper explained that several species had already chosen to fight back against Dominion expansion. These rebels needed coordination and support that Earth's hidden location could provide. The planet might become a sanctuary for resistance forces across the galaxy. Dr. Song Mi-jin realized the scientific opportunities that joining the galactic community would bring. Human knowledge could combine with alien science to create solutions neither could develop alone. The potential for growth was unlimited, but so were the dangers. The weight of the decision pressed down on everyone present. They spoke not just for themselves but for all humanity, and potentially for countless other species facing extinction. The choice they made would echo across the galaxy for generations to come. The Keeper presented humanity with their first real mission that would determine readiness for galactic citizenship. A species called the Thylon faced imminent destruction from a Dominion harvest fleet. The peaceful ocean dwellers had developed beautiful underwater cities but possessed no weapons to defend themselves. Admiral Kim Tae-ho volunteered to lead a joint task force combining human ships with temporary Keeper technology upgrades. The modifications would give human vessels fighting capabilities far beyond their original specifications but would fade after the mission to prevent technological advancement too rapidly. Engineer Lim Tae-young worked with Keeper technicians to install energy shields and weapon systems that seemed to grow into the ships rather than being attached. The alien technology merged with human systems, creating hybrid vessels that maintained human design while gaining incredible power. Captain Kwon In-ho commanded the cruiser Gwangju Thunder, leading a squadron of volunteers into the Narita system, where the Thylon homeworld orbited a blue giant star. The mission required perfect timing and coordination to succeed without alerting the main Dominion battle fleet. The approach to Narita revealed the beauty and horror of the situation. The waterworld sparkled like a jewel in space, with 3 small moons reflecting sunlight across its surface. But massive Dominion harvesting ships hung above the planet, like vultures draining the oceans. Into enormous storage tanks, Commander Seo Hye-jin coordinated fighter squadrons that danced between the harvesting vessels. Their upgraded weapons carved through alien hulls with precision strikes that disabled equipment without destroying the ships completely. The goal was to save the Thylon while avoiding detection by Dominion sensors. The battle above Narita's azure oceans tested every lesson humanity had learned during their own near extinction. The Thylon contributed their own unique abilities using biotechnology that could disrupt Dominion systems in ways the invaders had never encountered before. Underwater cities launched clouds of microscopic organisms that interfered with Dominion electronics, while Thylan singers used sound waves that resonated through the harvesting ships' hulls. The combination of human tactics and Thylan biological warfare proved devastating to the unprepared invaders. Captain Quan Inho led his ship through a complex dance, avoiding massive, harvesting beams while targeting critical systems. His crew worked with desperate efficiency, knowing that failure meant not just their own deaths, but the complete extinction of the Thylan civilization. The mission succeeded, but barely. Several human ships were lost, including the destroyer Mokpo Defender, with all hands aboard. The survivors returned to Earth, changed by their experience of fighting for another species' survival rather than their own. The Thylan homeworld was saved, and the grateful ocean dwellers began developing their own defenses with Keeper guidance. But the Dominion now knew that someone was interfering with their harvesting operations. The victory came with the price of increased attention from their enemies. Lieutenant Colonel Oh Sung-min compiled reports on the mission's tactical successes and failures. Human creativity combined with alien technology had proven effective, but the psychological cost of losing ships and crews while fighting for strangers weighed heavily on everyone involved. The Keeper acknowledged humanity's success but warned that greater challenges lay ahead. The Dominion would investigate the interference at Narita and might eventually trace the resistance back to Earth. Humanity had proven worthy but now faced the consequences of that worthiness. Dr. Kang Yuri studied the temporary technology upgrades before they faded from the human ships. The experience of using such advanced systems gave human engineers insights that would help them develop their own improved technology over time. Admiral Kim Tae-ho realized that the mission had changed humanity forever. They were no longer isolated victims hiding on Earth, but active participants in a galactic struggle. The knowledge brought both pride and terrible responsibility for the choices that lay ahead. The success at Narita proved that humans could work effectively with alien allies, and that their adaptability made them valuable partners in the fight against Dominion expansion. But it also marked the end of Earth's safety and the beginning of humanity's transformation into something greater. Months after the Narita mission, Earth had transformed into a hidden stronghold for the growing resistance against Dominion expansion. The planet's location, protected by Keeper stealth technology, made it an ideal coordination center for species. Fighting across the galaxy, Admiral Park Sung-ho, promoted after Admiral Kim Tae-ho's heroic sacrifice during a later mission, oversee the transformation of human space forces into something resembling a galactic navy. Earth's shipyards worked around the clock-building vessels that combined human engineering with alien technology. Captain Moon Jae-in commanded the new battleship Seoul Ascendant, the first human vessel designed from the ground up with integrated Keeper technology. Her crew included not just humans but representatives from 6 different alien species, all united in their opposition to Dominion tyranny. The cultural exchange proved challenging but ultimately strengthening as different perspectives combined to create innovative, tactical solutions. The Thylan provided biological weapons that could disable enemy systems. The crystalline Zephyrians contributed energy manipulation techniques that enhanced human weapons. Dr. Chun Bo-ra led the research division studying captured Dominion technology, searching for weaknesses in their seemingly invincible war machine. Her discoveries revealed that the Dominion's greatest strength, their rigid adherence to ancient protocols, might also be their greatest vulnerability. Younger species fighting with desperate creativity could exploit assumptions built into Dominion's strategic thinking. The Empire had become so accustomed to easy victories that they had difficulty adapting to truly innovative tactics that broke their established patterns of warfare. The final confrontation came when a massive Dominion fleet discovered Earth's location, forcing humanity and their allies into the most decisive battle in galactic history. The engagement involved hundreds of ships from dozens of species, each contributing their unique capabilities. General Lee Kyung-min coordinated ground defenses, while orbital platforms unleashed weapons that blended human engineering with Keeper energy manipulation. The defense of Earth became a test of everything the Alliance had learned about working together against impossible odds. The battle raged for 3 days with victories and defeats on both sides. Dominion ships that had conquered 1,000 worlds found themselves outmaneuvered by tactics they had never encountered. Human pilots flew alongside alien warriors in spacecraft that represented the best of multiple civilizations. Captain Moon, J.N. led the Soul Ascendant in a desperate assault on the Dominion command ship Her, mixed crew working with perfect coordination despite their different origins. The attack succeeded, but cost the lives of brave beings from many worlds who died protecting Earth. The tide turned when Keeper reinforcements arrived at the last moment, their advanced technology tipping the balance in favor of the Alliance. The Dominion fleet retreated, but not before suffering losses that would be felt across their empire. In the aftermath, the Keeper finally revealed the complete truth: humanity was never meant to be just another protected species, but rather the catalyst that would unite the galaxy's oppressed civilizations into an effective fighting force against tyranny. Earth became the capital of a new galactic alliance dedicated to protecting younger civilizations and eventually overthrowing Dominion rule. The planet that had once faced extinction now served as a beacon of hope for species throughout the galaxy. Admiral Park Sung Ho stood in the rebuilt command center watching ships from dozens of worlds orbit Earth in peaceful cooperation. Humanity had found their purpose among the stars not as conquerors or explorers, but as guardians, ensuring other species received the same chance at survival. The alliance grew stronger, each day as more species joined the fight against Dominion oppression. Human adaptability and determination inspired others to resist, while alien technology and knowledge helped humanity develop capabilities they had never imagined possible. The war against the Dominion would continue for years or decades, but the outcome was no longer in doubt. When species worked together, combining their strengths and covering each other's weaknesses, even the most ancient tyranny could be challenged and eventually defeated. Humanity had started as victims facing extinction, but through courage, determination, and the willingness to fight for others, they had become the leaders of a galactic revolution that would reshape civilization among the stars for millions of years to come.